This is WAFF 48 News, Decision 2024 election coverage, sponsored by Deep South Roofing.
Well, hello everyone. It is digital host A.J. Wuest here on election night. A very exciting night here in the state of Alabama, that is for sure. Today I am joined with Dr. Waymon E. Burke. He is a political analyst and he is certainly the guy you want to be with on a night like this, that is for sure. Dr. Burke, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, AJ. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, absolutely. None of the local races have been called just yet, but
Right.
It is still only 52 hours past the time the polls have closed. But there is one that we want to talk about. The Alabama Chief Justice,
Yes.
Sarah Stewart, is currently leading Greg Griffith right now by a pretty large margin, 66%. Dr. Burke, what can you say about that race?
Well, Alabama overall leans red. As a matter of fact, in some places it's very deep red. That really has only been true in the past couple of decades. Democrats at one time dominated all of these state offices, but that's not the case anymore. The Republicans hold every major statewide office, and they also of course, have currently 6 of the 7 congressional seats, and we'll see what happens in that new congressional district.
Absolutely. And I know here in Madison County, at least, you look at some of these races, District 1, District 2, District 4, 5, and 6. There is a Libertarian on the ballot and not a Democrat. What can you say about really like the rise of libertarians, but exactly why is this the case?
Well, I think part of the case is the demise of the Democratic Party in Alabama, at least much of the state. At one time, as I said, the Democratic Party was the dominant party organization, and the modern-day Republican Party didn't even have primaries until about 40 some odd years ago. They used conventions to select candidates. And the Democrats had dominated since the times of Reconstruction and the Civil War period. But by the double O's, by 2010, of course, the Republicans had taken over both houses of the state legislature and the bulk of the statewide offices.
Very interesting. And we'll have more on your local election coverage coming up as the votes come in. We're here all night, so we will certainly have more for you all. But Dr. Burke, you have the president map behind you.
Yes.
As those votes are coming in. Currently, the former president, Donald Trump, is leading Kamala Harris 101 to 71 in the electoral votes. But still, the night is very, very young, of course. But talk about some of the key states to keep an eye on.
Well, nothing that I see on the map is surprising. The deep red states that are shown there are states that the Democrats had basically written off, including the state of Alabama. The competitive states in the South, of course, are Georgia and North Carolina. I see currently they're pink. I do not know which direction they will go in the end, but I think that's probably premature. For example, in Atlanta, usually the last vote that comes in from the state of Georgia is Atlanta and Greater Atlanta, and that those 9 counties around Atlanta have over 40% of the total vote of the state. And that's true in a lot of other states where you have major urban centers, where you have a lot of people and a lot of votes, as opposed to some rural counties that have relatively small populations. The key states other than North Carolina and Georgia, of course, are Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Those 3 states are considered to be the blue wall that would more likely guarantee a Kamala Harris victory. If she were to lose one of those states, then she would need to pick up a North Carolina or a Georgia. But there are other states in contention as well. For example, Arizona. That one is too close to call. and Nevada. And Nevada only has 6 electoral votes, but as they get closer to trying to reach that magic number of 270, it could be very important.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Michigan polls are closing right now, and you are certainly right. Still very early to tell. I've seen Georgia already leaning blue. I've seen it leaning red, blue again, back to red. So it's going to take a while because I believe only like 6% of those votes are counted right now. So
I would say this, AJ,
yes,
that the whether they're light blue or light red, I think that's misleading in all of those, the 6 states that I see, the 5 states that I see that are in play, that may not tell us what the end vote is going to be.
Right, absolutely. And talk a little bit about Pennsylvania as well. I know both candidates campaigned very strong in the Keystone State. Talk a little bit about the importance of winning Pennsylvania.
Well, Pennsylvania is one of the states that, should Kamala Harris not take these other 4 states that are in play, she would have to have Pennsylvania along with Michigan and Wisconsin, assuming every other state falls the way we think it will fall. But winning Pennsylvania would be big. Many have suggested that she is closing strong there. One of the errors that former President Trump made there was the very tasteless joke about Puerto Rico at Madison Square Garden some days ago. And he never actually disavowed it, and there is a large Puerto Rican population there. Some say at least 300,000 registered voters. And, theoretically, that could be the difference in which way Pennsylvania may go.
Absolutely. Well, the night is very much still young. We are going to send you all back, if you're watching on the 48 Now live stream, back to Local News Live for extended coverage, but we'll be making hits throughout the night for when these local races come in. But you all have a great night.